Talking.
Matt and Josh sell comics. Marvel
Oh,
News of the Week.
hi.
Did I interrupt you?
Whoopsie.
What?
Woo.
Now our sponsor. YouSellComics.com, your new multi-vendor marketplace. You Sell Comics offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect, sell. So, Blade has been in development hell for quite some time now.
Since
Multiple directors,
1982.
multiple directors have come on board and left. Multiple writers have come on board and left. A new rumor going around that the director of Harder They Fall is in contention to be the new director to come on board and leave. Marvel Studios' Blade reboot has been plagued by production woes ever since it's first announced over 4 years ago. Going through a number of directors and writers, the project finally seemed to be back on track after a recent update claiming that the shooting was set to commence this fall. But we recently learned that director Jan Demange will no longer helm the movie. These continuous setbacks have led to speculation that the project has been shelved, but we have been assured that it's still moving forward with Ali attached to star as a daywalker, and we're now hearing that Marvel may have settled on a new director. According to World of Reels, Jordan Rumi, the studio recently met with several potential directors, and Jameis Samuel impressed the Marvel brass. He doesn't know if the filmmaker has officially entered talks, but believes there's a good chance he'll ultimately land the gig. Samuel previously helmed the underrated Netflix western The Harder They Fall, who also had Jonathan Majors in it as and Lanketh Steinfeld. Steinfeld.
He's so good, by the way.
And recent revisionist religious epic, The Book of Clarence, which the trailer looked really good at that. I just haven't got around to watching it.
Same.
The Harder They Fall was really good, though. I enjoyed that. Rumi also mentions that the latest draft by Eric Pearson, who was the sixth writer to have been assigned to the script after Michael Green, Stacey Kufer, Michael Starbury, Bo DeMeo, and Nick Pizzolatto, has finally satisfied everyone involved. There's a good chance the movie will meet its current shoot date of November 1st, which is in 2 weeks.
Well, I can tell you what. That's maybe one of the reasons why this thing is so cursed. It had Nick and Bo on it.
Well, who's I don't recognize the nickname. Who's Nick?
So Nick is the guy who did True Detective.
Okay. Well, the first one was good. The first season was good.
The first one was good, but the issue is that he didn't really. I guess, from my understanding, is what I read was that he wasn't overly
easy to work with.
Yeah, and it got pretty bad to the point where they obviously had to remove him from the show. Season 4 he was not involved in season 4 whatsoever. Well, I mean, apparently he's got an executive producer credit, right? But I don't think he...
because here it says 30 episodes for writer, but there's been 4 seasons.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And then on top of him doing the show, I don't think, because like he had a lot of buzz after season 1. Like that was like he was like, oh shit, we got to talk to this guy. And then I don't think he's done much since.
So
I think he wrote some things, or he helped write some things maybe.
So there's a weird timeline here of in 2016 he wrote the screenplay for the remake of The Magnificent Seven. And now it says that there's another upcoming... Oh, it's a TV series of The Magnificent Seven that he's involved in.
Yeah, apparently that's in...
He's still credited as Blade, writer in development, and Easy Waltz, which is in post-production. So maybe he's not directing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get a script and then he's, not on the set to cause problems.
Mm-hmm. Could see that.
I don't really know that we need... Like, I just watched... The Magnificent, the original in 4K, and it was, it's a really good movie. The remake was okay. It had a lot of stars in it, like Chris Pratt was in it, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's a very good director for the most part, Ethan Hawke. But I don't know that we need a TV series of it. Maybe because Westerns are starting to come back on TV, like from the Yellowstone effect.
Okay, so other than Yellowstone and the Yellowstone spin-offs, which can you name a Western that's been getting popular on TV?
Western that's getting popular on TV. I
like
know that...
since it started?
Yeah, I think that Winona Earp is somewhat popular, even though it's kind of like a sci-fi
Okay.
western.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, Hell on Wheels was before
That's
Yellowstone,
before.
but that show was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever
Mm-hmm.
watch that?
I didn't.
No. Um,
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Well, I mean, they're always chasing trends, right? So Yellowstone does
Yes.
well. Oh, we have to put something in production right away for westerns and then everything. They put out 20 western shows and then it dies, and it's cyclical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, Westworld was before. Yeah. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
really count.
Westworld.
Okay.
The first season was kind of a western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Western Mystery, which was dope.
Yeah. So Blade reboot, still working on it. Avengers Secret Wars news or rumors, whatever. Always rumors. Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars are obviously shaping up to be massive MCU events, with the latter, in particular, expected to be the most ambitious superhero movie of all time in terms of scale and scope. I don't know, the Endgame was pretty massive in terms of scale and scope, right?
Well, they know they have to go larger.
Yeah.
They know they have to go bigger, right? So it's like...
there are going to be a lot of characters, but there have been conflicting reports when it comes to the involvement of 20th Century Fox's Marvel heroes. Hugh Jackman is almost certainly going to return as Wolverine, but what about his fellow X-Men? While Marvel Studios is in the process of casting new actors to play the mutant freedom fighters in the upcoming X-Men reboot, it seems there might be a few holdovers, at least until the events of Secret Wars. Sir Patrick Stewart will reprise his role as the original big screen Professor Charles Xavier. Stewart already made his MCU debut for a brief appearance as Professor X in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but that variant of the mutant leader to an abrupt and somewhat distasteful end at the hands of Scarlet Witch. That was brutal. It was a great scene, but that was a brutal kill.
Yeah. Ooh.
We thought that would be the last we saw the Star Trek legend in this role, but it seems he has at least one more super. I don't know that I believe that rumor. I feel like he's kind of probably done with X-Men.
So I think
he said he was done after Logan, and then he came back one more time. But I suppose
it's also done, he came back again.
Yeah, I suppose also what he's doing in his is he doing plays right now? I don't know. I'm not sure. What has he been in since?
I don't think they've been doing much because, again, they're 75, fucking 78 years old. They don't, and they've been working forever. I just assume that they're just yeah, I'm gonna have to play fucking.
So he has
Professor
no
X and...
upcoming.
Yeah,
the last thing he did was Star Trek Picard season 3.
Oh, right, I forgot about Picard.
But that was almost 2 years ago now.
Again, another role that he just kind of went back to, right? He didn't act in anything new. He didn't do anything anything along
he was
that.
in Coda. It's an Oscar winner.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Doctor Strange. Yeah. American Dad, of course, doing voices.
Right. Yep. Yep. So I mean, he's not sitting around doing nothing.
I'm sure he's made enough money. To be very choosy.
Yes.
And also Ian McKellen is injured. He fell off the stage during a performance a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he did. Animal.
If you're gonna bring Patrick Stewart back, you have to bring Ian McKellen back as Magneto, at least for a variant. Do both.
I don't know if they're gonna get them in full suit. Obviously Professor X is
Magneto's suit was never crazy though. It was
I know,
it was kind of like a purple dress suit with a cape.
I just don't know if
Avengers Doomsday arrives in theaters May 1st, 2026, followed by Secret Wars on May 2027. Both films will be directed by the Russo brothers, who also make their return for helming pretty much all of the MCU great movies. Yeah, so I don't know that I think Patrick is coming back, but I do believe you'll see a lot of cameos.
Yes, many.
Charlize Theron will come back. Maybe Harry, what's that guy's name?
Styles.
Harry Styles.
Star Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kit Harington.
Yeah, Kit. Yeah.
Who played a kind of a sexual deviant in industry this this season.
Yeah, I haven't read obviously it, but
I mean, let's not kink shame on this show, but it was a little weird, his character.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Possibly the worst idea I've ever seen for studios. Toxic fandom has become an increasingly major issue over the past few years, with more and more people taking to social media to lash out at anything they perceive to be a problem with a particular franchise, movie, or series they've invested in. Mm-hmm. Being passionate is one thing, but lines tend to be crossed, and in addition to relatively harmless, though we're sure studio execs would disagree, practices such as review bombing actors directors are often targeted for racist, sexist, homophobic abuse. There's a general perception that studios don't really pay much attention to this sort of backlash, but this is not the case according to Variety. Mm-hmm. Quote, it comes with the territory, but it's gotten incredibly loud in the last couple of years. People are just out for blood regardless. They think the purity of the first version will never be replaced, or you've done something to upset the canon of a beloved franchise, and they're going to take you down for doing so. It seems major Hollywood studios, though none are named, but I'm going to assume Disney and Marvel is probably included in this, along with Warner Brothers and... Fuck, how many major studios are actually left besides Warner Brothers and Disney? It wouldn't be A24 because they do indie stuff.
No.
Paramount, I guess, would be the other big one that has franchises. Amazon, I guess, has some franchises now from MGM.
Right.
Lord of the Rings.
Right,
yeah.
MGM. Yeah, because... wow, yeah, it's really getting kind of tight, eh?
Yeah, Paramount, Disney, because Fox is gone, Warner Brothers, and Amazon?
When we
Apple doesn't have franchises yet. They're making their own.
Yeah, I mean,
For All Mankind is the franchise at this point now because they're doing a spin-off for Star City, but that's wholly created on their own.
Mm.
Kind of franchises Netflix have.
I haven't watched a ton of Apple TV, so I'm trying to... I don't know.
Apple's... you know what? Apple's the
quality, though,
the quality is the best. I think the best of the streamers.
I would agree.
Netflix just canceled another popular show that was in their top 10 for 3 weeks.
Chaos.
Yeah, fuck off.
I watched one episode. It was good.
Yeah, we were planning on watching it. There's so many shows to get to.
Yep. And now it's pointless.
And in 10 years, Netflix is I should start shorting that stock. They're gonna have it's gonna be full of shows with one season and no endings.
Well, it's because they're impatient. They also don't want to pay people.
Yeah.
It's like they're making billions of dollars. They don't want to pay anybody. Yeah. Not every single one can be Squid Game, I guess.
For you because of season 2.
And also, I feel like they're not it's not going to be a lot of these shows that blew up. They didn't think was going to do well, and then obviously you got Squid Game, right? Mm-hmm. Shit like that. And they never planned to really do another one, but the guy kind of wrote some of it. He's like, I don't know, I had some, but I wasn't sure. And then obviously it exploded, and Netflix is like, here's $50 million. Go make us a fucking season 2. Do it right now. And if I don't,
we're gonna turn it into a reality game. Yeah. That was bad. Someone's crying on that game show.
Yes, and then it's been 2.5 years since Squid Game.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I remember some of it, but I don't remember all of it. Are you gonna watch the second season? I mean, I might.
Not right away.
Yeah, I'm not biting at the bit. But at the same time,
I don't know. Now that hockey season is on and football season, our TV series catching up goes way down, and we have to be very selective of what we like. Yeah. So, Penguin is one we for sure watch. Slow Horses, which just ended. We haven't yet to get to the season finale. Okay. That show is amazing. I love that Apple has been renewing it. They renewed it for season 5 and 6 already before season 4 came out, and Gary Oldman is fantastic in it. It's such a good show.
He's so good.
But yeah, we have to be selective of keep up with new stuff. We haven't even finished Lord of the Rings, even though it's been really good this season.
I haven't either. I'm only 2 episodes in, I think, or something like that.
So speaking of Lord of the Rings and toxic fan base, apparently studios will also put their talent through a social media boot camp if they feel that a character is intentionally challenging a franchise's status quo. They'll even take over their social media accounts. Security firms have also been known to scrub talent information from the internet to protect doxing. So, I guess my thing is that these super fans, think they want new stories, but they really don't. They want new adventures, but they really don't. Mm-hmm. They have no interest in any character evolving past what they were 40 years ago. Yep. And if you have the same voices in that room, you're never going to get anything interesting or intriguing or like mind-blowing in a storyline twist, I guess. Yep. Like,
absolutely.
Are we going to get The Force Awakens 13 more times now? Because you need to have that. Like, at the time, Force Awakens was a good, enjoyable movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that another 14 times because of nostalgia. I want to see new stories with new characters. And I don't care if they're black or white or Asian or gay or straight. I don't give a shit. Just give me a good, well-written story that takes me into the world, expands or expounds on the lore or history or backstory, and keep me intrigued. I don't care about any of that other stuff. And if they happen to change a little bit of canon or a little bit of like, oh, maybe we just retcon this, because movies have been doing retcon forever.
Right, yeah.
Like,
yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Do you think this is a good idea?
I mean, I think we're both optimistic that they're going to do something kind of fresh, but also like well planned out, because we've done the same rigmarole before. Like, let's plan something, let's stick to it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I hate to use this example, but it is probably the closest one, which is DC was in shambles.
Yep.
They knew that how bad it was, and they knew that they had no possible future continuing with Zack Snyder's vision or visions or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's when you got to know that you got to take a different approach. And let's be real, James Gunn's approach is not going to be like the absolute polar opposite, but it's going to be fairly different. And it's going to have a lot more ideas, a lot of different ideas and things that he wants to accomplish. We're going to see, I feel like we're going to see Superman go through a lot of really slow and interesting changes over the course of like how the movie arcs are going to go and how they're going to interact with each other and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure the phase 1 Monsters and Gods and Monsters is like a 6 or 7 year plan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
That's phase 1, man.
Yeah.
Like he had to be coherent enough to be like, okay, and then this is going to be phase 2 and we're going to do this. And it's like, imagine what our stories and how the characters are going to evolve, like how they're going to be when that happens. Like fucking Star Wars had so much opportunity. Imagine like okay, for Disney Plus, it started, was that like near the tail end of the trilogy, Star Wars, the new trilogy,
when Disney Plus came out?
Yeah, or was that right as Force Awakens started? Either way, they knew they were making TV. They knew they were making TV shows.
So
okay, Force Awakens was 2018.
Rise of Skywalker came out December that year.
What?
Yeah, well, I think it's been Rise of Skywalker was 2019. Was December 20th. Yeah, so Disney Plus launched a month before Rise of Skywalker came out. Yeah, we haven't had a Star Wars movie since 2019. It's been almost 6 years now.
That is fucking crazy. So it just brings it back to them having some type of plan, and again, they blew it. Because even if they had a trilogy that no one loved, they had a lot of people that enjoyed, whatever those characters and like the story that was made and like whatever. like the fact that you could continue that on afterwards is so, like, in a television show with, aspects of that story, I would say it would have been easy peasy if they had written it out and thought it out, and that to go into other shows or whatever, bobbing and weaving through different stuff.
So,
but no.
In regards to Superman and James Gunn and that franchise, people might not like it, but part of the problem with Superfans, some of them are pretty ignorant of the underlying themes. So I don't know that you can do a Superman who is all about the American way these days, because the American way is not the right way. Mm-hmm. Also, he's an immigrant. It's always been an immigrant story. And what's going on in America right now is they don't want immigrants. They want to close borders. They don't want to give asylum to anyone. Donald Trump is saying they're rapists and murderers. And I think if James Gunn really wants to have a poignant Superman story, he's got to lean into the immigration part more than the truth, justice, and the American way. Mm-hmm. And that might rub people the wrong way, but they probably also don't understand that, X-Men was about civil rights in the 60s. Black Panther was about civil rights in the 60s. Captain America was about fighting Nazism and fascism in the 80s. Like, they always seem to forget that part of where it came from and just make it up on what they think that theme should be. For the most part, comic book writers and script writers have had left or liberal leaning ideas in their shows and movies and franchises. That's not always like in your face like it is sometimes now with Marvel. I would 100% agree that that the women A-team moment in Endgame totally kind of pulled you out of the A-Force thing, sorry. Like, that was unnecessary, and maybe Marvel's learned a lesson of maybe not so much in your face. Mm-hmm. Maybe make it a bit more subtle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They just gotta work on it.
Yeah, like, all of these things that came before it have subtle themes that may or may not have been influencing kids to be left their entire lives. But, that happened in the 70s and 80s and 90s too. It just wasn't, I don't know, maybe people were...
Treat people with kindness. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's always going to be a toxic fan base, whether it's bots, whether it's, Russia and Twitter and... Sadie, get down from there. Sadie!
So funny.
Trying to jump on things. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a bad idea.
Yeah, it's and I think it's funny that you can tell online when certain topics come through that some Russian bot farms were not paid on time, where some were paid on time, and oh man, that's just getting funny. 2024 spotting bots.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. But yes, I agree. Kind of a bad idea. Not going to be... I don't see it with a super positive outcome.
No, I do not either.
No.
Okay, moving on. Silver Surfer. Looks like they might be getting a solo project. We've been hearing whispers of a Silver Surfer project for quite a while. Seems Marvel Studios is still planning to give the spacefaring hero the spotlight in his/her or own solo outing down the line. Previous rumor claimed the Fantastic Four First Steps director Matt Shakman's multi-year deal with Marvel could potentially include helming episodes of Silver Surfer at Disney Plus, while another indicated it was going to be a special presentation like Werewolf by Night. While it's not clear if this project is being developed for the smaller big screen, insider Daniel Rickman is reporting that the Sentinel of the Spaceways is still in the works and that Shakman is on board. Question is, which version will it be? Julia Gardner is cast as taking on the role of Shala Bal. for Fantastic Four movie. In the original Marvel Comics continuity, Shala Bal was the Empress of the planet Zenn-La and was the first love of Norrin Radd, who is also known as Silver Surfer. When Galactus came to devour their planet, Radd volunteered to become his herald in exchange for sparing Zenn-La. Later, when Franklin Richards took over as the new Galactus, he imbued Shala with the same cosmic powers and allowed her to serve as a twin herald alongside Radd. Since the groundwork is already going to be laid in the upcoming movie, it would seem to make more sense to continue Shala's story in a spin-off. But we have previously heard that the plan is for Garner to make just a single MCU appearance as a character. If accurate, this would obviously indicate that this movie or series will introduce Norrin Radd. Cameras are still rolling on the Fantastic Four in the UK right now. I wonder if it's more of you'll get an appearance from Julia Garner, and then you'll get a TV series with a backstory of that character and Norrin Radd. That'd be my guess.
That'd be cool.
I don't know why you cast Julia Garner, who's a fantastic actress, without.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Giving her more to do than a small appearance in a Fantastic Four movie.
I mean, I don't know about that. Like, I think from, her going from TV to movie, I mean, she's been in movies, but, going into, I wouldn't say a major role, but something that she's going to be seen in, quite abundantly.
Yeah.
Obviously they're going to use her again.
Well, then they cast Charlize Theron as Clea, and we haven't seen her in 4 years.
Yeah, but we're going to see her in,
Madness 2?
Doctor Strange 3.
Maybe 3, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Omnibuses are a thing I buy, although I've stopped. I used to buy. Now I have a whole 3 shelves full of omnibuses that I'm still trying to read through. So I stopped buying them for now. However, DC Marvel Amalgam Omnibus was about to be printed. Well, it was printed, and now they've done something to it. So, the Marvel DC crossover Omnibus has been delayed, but one has been delayed more than the others. The DC Marvel Amalgam Omnibus collection has even been removed from Amazon searches, though you can find it through Google. I've discovered that there's a very, very expensive reason for this. It may not be fixed by New Year's Eve. Both books were delayed by corporate procedures, sign-off schedules, and printer availability for what was originally planned as a 3,000 print run for each volume, but had orders that pushed that into the mid-5 figures, making it the biggest print run for any comic book omnibus ever. Wow, that's crazy.
Damn. Wow, yeah.
But everything was finally going smoothly until the copies began arriving at the publishers and sent it to contributors. Suddenly stopped as it became transparently obvious that something was very, very wrong with the omnibus. The volume that reprinted all mashup DC stories, aside from those written by Gerard Jones, of the late publishers have become a little more free and easy when it comes to printing errors. Rather than issue a recall and a reprint, publishers are more likely to issue missing or faulty images via PDF. Oh, God. Long as the day that Bob Greenberger would be fired over error in copies of the Golden Age Hawkman archives printed with pages in incorrect order. But for this one, I understand the printing errors were so egregious that this was nothing a PDF could solve. And the issue stemmed directly from the printer rather than the publishing. As a result, the 5-figure print run of 1,000+ page oversized hardcover volume has been pulped. God damn, they printed all of them and then scrapped them.
That's fucked.
I'm told not to expect it on shelves until well into 2025. How that goes all depends on the printer's insurance. Oof. Yeah, so those books are $150 US a pop.
And they're not going to go through another print until their insurance clears or whatever, which makes the sound of it, yeah, because they're scared of it happening again.
How do you miss that?
I don't know. That's
like
crazy.
I used to work in a printing place for not that it's the same thing, but I used to have a summer job at printing school agendas. Okay. And like you were checking the pages printed every couple of thousand to make sure that it was the same. Like you had multiple sign-offs from different people at different stations saying, okay, this looks good, run it. But how do you run 10,000 omnibuses full size, put them together and be like, oh, we screwed up?
I've been in a printing shop, like in the back of a printing shop in the warehouse twice, and I can tell you that if they are not organized, it's insane. It's insane. It's crazy. So yeah, again, if they're not organized, woo, scary.
That's gonna be. I feel like that's probably $1 million mistake.
Easy.
Okay, moving on. MCU street level rumors. Another roundup of that. We had that last video, but apparently there's more. Daredevil Born Again season 2 begins production in a few weeks, but we won't get to watch that first batch episodes till March. The Disney Plus series promises to take a deep dive into the street level corner of the MCU, something we'd once hoped was a plan for Spider-Man 4. Now the Cosmic Circus brings a rumored update that the Man Without Fear's fellow Defenders, as expected, Mayor Wilson Fisk, will indeed be hunting down vigilantes, with Echo and Blind Spot once on his list. How much has changed since the creative overhaul remains unclear. The site has also heard rumblings that Jessica Henwick's Colleen Wing will return. They later note that when we next see Finn Jones as Danny Rand, he'll likely be the next Iron Fist master, rather than the hero who holds the mantle. As for whether we'll see any Defenders in Born Again Daredevil Season 1, they will certainly be teased. I think one that will be teased the most might be Jessica Jones. Another vigilante used to defending the streets is Moon Knight, and while we yet to hear any official news about a second season, this report says that Marvel Studios has an idea that's really exciting, and yes, Moon Knight will return. Ironheart also looks to be a pretty grounded character, though we know the Disney Plus series will also explore the supernatural by pitting Riri against the Hood. There have been rumblings about Mephisto making his debut in that show, and the site reiterates that he'll have a very light supporting role. Though it's not official, we still expect Sacha Baron Cohen to fill that role. Finally, there's even though he isn't a street-level character, Chris Pratt's Star-Lord is still on Earth. Original plans called for him to form the Annihilators, but it seems like those are all on hold until the next Avenger movies, right around the corner. We also know that John Bernthal is back as the Punisher. I'm all for season 2 of Moon Knight. I enjoyed the first one. I'm really looking forward to Daredevil Born Again season 1.
Really looking forward. I think this is going to be a very well honed series.
Yeah, well, they had enough time to redo it a couple of times.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, for Marvel News of the Week, Robert Downey Jr. will reunite with Tom Holland, as Dr. Doom will be in Spider-Man 4.
I mean,
do you believe this?
Maybe. Like, I don't know, dude.
The official word on Spider-Man 4 is that it's being directed by Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Helmer Destin, Daniel Cretton. Beyond that, all we have really to go on is rumors. Initially, we were told that the plan was for street-level adventure, pitting Spider-Man and Daredevil against New York City's new mayor, Wilson Fisk. Sounds like a great movie to me. Last year's strikes changed things, though, and the movie will now find itself sandwiched between Born Again Seasons 1 and 2, Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. It seemingly made more sense to acquiesce to Sony's demands for another multiversal adventure by setting Spider-Man 4 between those Avengers movies. That likely means the action will be set on Battleworld, or wherever we're left with after Doomsday. Recently, we heard that Spider-Man will reunite with his multiversal buddies, the amazing and friendly neighborhood Spider-Men, and have potentially even teamed with Venom to battle King and Black Null, who we know is the villain in Venom 3, I guess. So are we getting Norman Reedus as Null?
In more than one movie?
You know what? I fucking hate that Sony has the rights to this.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
According to the Scooper, My Time to Shine Low, I can reveal that Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom will have a role in Spider-Man 4. Okay, that's a lot of information.
I'm learning.
Andrew Garfield admitted he was left dangling when the Spider-Man 3 was shelved and said his MCU debut was really healing for me. I mean, he was great in it.
He was so good. It's the best part of that movie for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I would rather have a Daredevil Spider-Man team up against Wilson Fisk for a Devil's Reign storyline, but
yeah, that'd be cool.
Sony's got to get in there and do what they think is best.
Get in there.
Like I like as much as like Tom Hardy, I really hope Venom 3 tanks. Like
whoa.
as bad as Morbius did.
Oh, it's okay. We're not wishing anything upon anyone. Okay, it's just we
Tom
wish
Hardy
a
got
better
paid. What does
movie.
he care?
Well, I'm just saying, we wish there was a better movie made so that there was some type of coerciveness.
Sony needs to get
They could
just
fucking
let go of the
do
rights,
the shit.
get their head out of their butt, and just give it back tomorrow.
If Marvel hasn't already bought it for an absurd amount of money, that means like Sony's holding out. Like they know.
Yeah.
They're, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, where's our couple Billy?
Where's our moolah?
Yeah, where's our fucking moolah?
Anyways, well, that's it for Marvel News of the Week. In Canada, it's Thanksgiving weekend, so everyone who's watching Canada, have a great Thanksgiving. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah.